Our top story this morning, US President Joe Biden and his Russian counterpart Vladimir Putin will speak on phone today. Now, this comes amid ongoing tensions on military build-up at Ukraine-Russia border. US and Russia will be holding security talks next month. This is going to be the second telephonic conversation between Biden and Putin in less than 1 month. Earlier in December, Biden warned Putin of severe consequences if Russia invades Ukraine. National Security Council spokesperson said that the Biden administration continues to engage in extensive diplomacy with European allies and partners, consulting and coordinating on a common approach in response to Russia's military build-up on the border with Ukraine. According to senior US officials, Biden will offer his Russian counterpart a diplomatic path forward on the Ukraine crisis. Western officials say that Russia has deployed tens of thousands of troops on the border with Ukraine. They fear a repeat of the 2014 when Moscow seized Crimea. In an effort to diffuse tensions, senior US and Russian officials plan to meet on the 10th of January in Geneva. This meeting will be held days after Russia offered a proposal to the United States. It included calls to not expand NATO eastward or to set up bases in former Soviet republics. Zelensky tweeted that Ukraine has been assured full support in countering Russian aggression. The United States has called some of the Russian positions non-starters, but said it is willing to talk and will also bring up its own concerns. The dialogue was set up when Biden and Putin met in Geneva in June. On Wednesday, US Secretary of State Antony Blinken and Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky spoke on phone. Blinken separately spoke to his counterparts from Britain, France and Germany. US State Department spokesperson said that Western foreign ministers affirmed the consensus among allies and partners to impose massive consequences and severe costs on Russia for action. Biden administration has not laid out new measures. However, reports suggest that the United States could move to disconnect Russia from the SWIFT system that connects world banks. And WION correspondent Nick Harper has sent us this report from Washington, D.C. Let's just listen in.
Well, you'd imagine that the idea is to try and diffuse tensions between the US and Russia. But let's not forget that President Putin has also asked for certain guarantees that the US says it is not willing to commit to. Specifically, that Ukraine is not allowed to join the Western military alliance NATO, and that NATO won't move troops to Ukraine or put any weaponry there that could be used to attack Russia. So I think we can expect President Putin to continue to push Biden on those guarantees. Emily Horne said the Biden administration continues to engage in what they're calling extensive diplomacy with European allies. Ahead of the call with Putin, the US Secretary of State Antony Blinken has spoken to Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky, and we're told that they discussed Russia's military build-up and efforts to peacefully resolve the conflict in eastern Ukraine. But it is worth noting that since their last phone call, we haven't seen a Russian troop reduction at the border. Putin has said he hasn't made up his mind yet what he wants to do about Ukraine, but at the same time, he hasn't done anything to reduce tensions. And with that as the backdrop, this is likely to be a very significant phone call between the two leaders. One where what happens next in terms of Ukraine, and really what happens next with the future of US-Russia relations, could be decided.
WION is now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the news on the move.